Hi everyone, I'm Susan Brady. Thank you for joining me today. Move Over Dairy. There is a new bone building food group in town. When you hear the word osteoporosis, what's the first food that comes to mind for support and prevention of bone loss? So, for most, the first thing that comes to mind is dairy. And it has been drilled into us for years that we need to eat more dairy to protect our bones. But I actually disagree with that. And I believe that it is really vegetables and fruits that are the most important food group for building strong, healthy bones. Yes, dairy products such as milk and cheese and yogurt, they're all a great source of calcium, and calcium is important for our bones. But our bones need so much more than just calcium. And there is increasing evidence that vegetables and fruits support our bones in ways that dairy products can't. So there was a 2016 study that showed consuming less than 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day was associated with a higher risk of fractures, particularly in older women. And then a 2019 systematic review of all the randomized control studies on this subject, vegetables and fruits supporting bone health, found that across the board, an association of higher consumption of vegetables and fruits was associated with a lower fracture risk. And now, a recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition just this past fall showed that a diet with a greater intake of just vegetables, so they didn't look at fruits in this study, just vegetables, was associated with an improved bone metabolism and decrease of bone resorption or bone loss, as well as a reduction in the loss of acid and the loss of calcium in the urine. So there are multiple potential reasons for these health benefits and many mechanisms through which vegetables and fruits have a positive effect on bone health. So the first is that vegetables and fruits contain so many of the essential nutrients that our bones need to stay healthy. Our green leafy vegetables contain calcium, and many vegetables and fruits contain bone essential minerals such as magnesium and zinc and manganese and phosphorus, boron, as well as essential vitamins like vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin A. And fruits and vegetables tend to be the richest source of all of these nutrients. Vegetables and fruits are also a rich source of polyphenols and flavonoids and carotenoids. And all of these plant compounds have tremendous antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. And oxidative stress and inflammation can actually stimulate the osteoclasts. So osteoclasts are the bone cells that break down your bone, which in turn leads to excessive bone loss. So these compounds found in fruits and vegetables help to inhibit the inflammation and the oxidation that can lead to excessive bone loss. They can also help to balance out the acid in the body. So foods like meat and dairy and eggs and wheat, they're all very acidic foods, whereas vegetables and fruits are very alkaline foods. And the thought is that when we eat too many acidic foods, it can lead to calcium being leached from the bones and excreted in the urine. And because vegetables and fruits are alkaline, they can help balance out the acidic nature of these other foods and help to reduce the loss of calcium. And then lastly, vegetables and fruits support a healthy gut microbiome. And our gut microbiome absolutely plays a role in the health of our bones. And vegetables and fruits provide prebiotic fiber to those trillions of microbes in your gut, which feeds them and it nourishes them and it allows them to survive and to thrive. So that's another way that vegetables and fruits support our bone health. So how much do you want to be consuming a day? I generally recommend people aim to get 7 to 10 servings of vegetables and fruit a day, and aim to get twice as many vegetables as fruit. So if you're eating 3 servings of fruit a day, you need to get at least 6 servings of vegetables. And I know the idea of getting 7 to 10 servings of vegetables and fruits in every day may sound a little overwhelming, but it's really not that difficult, because a serving size of most vegetables and fruits is a half of a cup. So this is 1 serving of broccoli, okay? So a half a cup of broccoli, and that's really not that much at all. And then in regards to leafy greens, 1 serving size is a cup. So this is a cup of leafy greens. And I suspect that your average salad has at least a cup of greens, if not, closer to 2 cups. So if you're having a bowl of fruit in the morning with your breakfast, you're most likely getting about 2 servings of fruit. Then if you have a salad for lunch with 2 cups of leafy greens, a half a cup of peppers, a half a cup of tomatoes, a half a cup of cucumbers, that's 5 servings of vegetables right there, just in that salad. So even before you sit down for dinner, you have already had 7 servings of fruits and vegetables for that day. And it should be really easy to get another 2 to 3 servings in at dinner. So there are 2 simple rules that you can follow to ensure you're getting 7 to 10 vegetables and fruits a day. So number 1 is strive to get some fruits or vegetables in at every meal of the day. And I know generally breakfast is the hardest to incorporate vegetables, but it can be done by simply sauteing up some vegetables to add to your eggs, or throwing in some spinach or kale into your smoothie, or just adding a couple servings of fruits in at breakfast. And then another easy way to help you reach this goal of getting 7 to 10 fruits and vegetables a day is to make sure that when you are dishing out your food on your plate for your meal, try to get half of the plate to be vegetables. So half of your plate should be vegetables and or fruit. A quarter of your plate to be protein, so that can be an animal or a plant protein, and then a quarter of your plate to be a complex carbohydrate. And if you follow just this simple rule, you're not only going to get enough vegetables and fruits every day, but also a very healthy and very well-rounded diet. I know for the longest time, we have been so focused on consuming dairy for bone health, but it is becoming increasingly evident that vegetables and fruits are just as important, and arguably maybe even more important than dairy for maintaining bone health. So move over dairy. There's a new food in town for building strong, healthy bones. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day and a very healthy rest of your week.